What's up? What's up, man? Chestnut Checker signing in. Well, one half of the Chestnut Checkers crew signing in. Uh, a little late night kind of, a little live. I figured it would only be right if, on behalf of the Chestnut Checkers crew, Trey not much of a Kobe fan, but if y'all haven't noticed by now, I am a huge fan of Kobe Bean Bryant and the Los Angeles Lakers, as well as the Las Vegas Raiders now and the Cleveland Indians. So, sports is a big deal, but I felt it would only be right if I was to go live and say a few things about Kobe and wish him a happy birthday and send some love to everybody else who might be thinking about Kobe on today. It's definitely been tough for me over these last 7 months now. It'll be 7 months on Thursday, I believe, or Wednesday. Man, first of all, it's very, very hard to still believe and accept that Kobe Bryant is gone, and the way it happened tragically with his daughter Gigi and the other 7 people on the plane, obviously the pilot and the other families of the young ladies who was playing basketball on Gigi's team. It's just a heartbreaking story, man. And Vanessa and Natalia, as he was said, and Bianca and Capri, the family that's left behind, his sisters, his mom, his dad, all the other people who knew him closely and was family with Kobe. Obviously they're affected a lot more than a person like myself who never actually met the guy, but still the amount of effect that it had on me just lets me know how much of an effect it probably would have on them. So I send all of my love out to the families of those who, were affected by the loss of Kobe. But, I'm really here to celebrate, Kobe and all the things that he did that meant for me and all the great memories that I was left with. Starting off when he got drafted, and I was like, who is this? We trading Vlade Divac, who was one of my favorite players at the time, for this high school kid, when high school kids coming out was like, it wasn't really a thing for real. You had Moses Malone and KG. And then Kobe was next, and then Jermaine O'Neal in that same draft, and a few other people. So, I wasn't really excited about having Kobe. And then we got rid of Eddie Jones, who was another person, but, that's a whole nother part of it. But as Kobe progressed and, I saw him in the dunk contest, he won that. And then in 2000, we won a championship, and that was my first real championship as a fan, since I was a little kid when I didn't really even know what was going on when I first started liking the Lakers. So, just to see one of my own teams win a championship and beat that Blazers series was crazy. I locked myself in the room and watched that Game 7, and when he threw that lob to Shaq, I came out the room and celebrating, running through the house just like Shaq was running back to the bench, pointing after Portland called the timeout. That was me, kind of doing the same thing, just losing my mind with excitement. And that was my sophomore year in high school. So sophomore year, we won a championship. Junior year, we won a championship. Senior year, we won a championship. So in high school, nobody really could tell me anything. The Raiders was playing ball too, so it was great. So that's just one of the first really great memories I had as a Kobe Bryant fan. Then in 2003, we lost. 2004, he had the whole rape situation, and he would go to court in the morning and then fly back to the game and then hit a buzzer beat or drop 40 or something like that. I'm like, this is crazy. Like, how can someone whose life and freedom is on the line still be able to perform at that level? And I started to really focus on learning, what kind of thought process it took to be that kind of successful under that amount of pressure. And, I tried my best to apply that in my own life as much as I could. Kobe is a different animal, same beast, but I don't have everything that he has, but I've tried to apply it as best I can to be successful in my own life and make the Mamba mentality my own. Another great memory was when in '06 when we was playing the Phoenix Suns, and I was fresh out of the hospital from an injury that I had sustained. Some people know about it, some don't. We'll talk about that on another show. But yeah, I was really needing something to cheer for. And that series, even though we lost it in 7, but that game when he hit that game winner and the buzzer beater in overtime and in regulation to send the game in overtime, and then the buzzer beater to win it against Phoenix at home to go up 3-1 was that was a very, very special moment for me. It was very uplifting for my healing process that I was going through at the time. So, I always appreciated Kobe for that. And then, a lot of people didn't like Kobe Bryant. A lot of people did not like Kobe Bryant. There were a lot of haters, a lot of people who weren't really fans of his game. They called him arrogant. They called him cocky. They called him selfish. They called him all kind of things that I kind of sort of agreed with sometimes, but for the most part, I wasn't really, I didn't really see him in that light. I saw him as a person who was focused and a person who put other things, he put winning before everything else, and that was how I tried to approach my game as a competitor. My teammates could probably say, like, I played around, I joked and had a good time, but I was always focused. I might not have been the most talented player on the team. I wasn't the most physically gifted. I wasn't a scrub either, but, I always worked hard. I always competed at a high level. I always wanted to push my teammates and myself to win. And, it wasn't about anything other than that, honestly. So, I'm thankful for him motivating me in that way. And a lot of people who had a lot of negative things to say about him, I was always a person who defended Kobe Bryant, against that, and chose to always stand behind him, even when he might have been wrong sometimes. But I just didn't see, I accepted his faults when he did. You said what he said about Shaq, bringing that in to, into his situation that he had got himself into. He didn't have to do that, and I just didn't agree with that, and that was wrong. And I'm a big fan of Shaq, so I definitely didn't appreciate that. And he rubbed a lot of people in the wrong way in that regard. But, that doesn't mean a person can't redeem themselves, which I think he did. And he had to overcome a lot of things to get to where he was moving forward. So I'm thankful to my wife for, like, the first time I ever went to a game to see Kobe. She bought the tickets. We sat, like, right behind the bench. And, man, it was just an amazing experience to see him perform on that level. And then the last time I got to see him play was in 2016 in his farewell tour. It was the second to last game in New Orleans. And me and my brother Daniel went to that game. And we sat pretty close and got to see kind of behind the bench, and got to see him, drop a triple-double in a win against the Pels. So it was a great experience to see that. I saw him play. I saw him drop 50 on that little run that he went on where he dropped 50 in like 5 games in a row. I got to see an NBA player score 50 points in one game, and that was amazing. So, like, it was just a lot of, as far as basketball goes, I never played organized except for 1 year, but I always been a fan of the game. I consider myself a student of it. And when I do play, I try to play the game the right way. And I tell you what, I done bust a lot of heads on NBA Live and NBA 2K with Kobe Bryant. And I used my player. I had my Kobe jump shot, and I had the Kobe free throw. I never really liked this dunk package. But I definitely, modeled my game after Kobe as much as I could, with a little bit of Magic Johnson. I'm not going to sit here and claim to be Kobe Bryant or Magic Johnson on the basketball court, because I am neither one. I'm a decent at baseball, decent at football, and all right at basketball. So, but everything that Kobe, he really gave me an appreciation and love for the game that I probably wouldn't have had if, he wasn't on the Lakers team. But since I had that guy on my team, he was that guy for me. that made me interested in tuning into basketball, for 20 years. 20 years, man. And it's just really tragic that his life got cut short in the way it did. And, it broke my heart. I shed many tears, and I said it on the show before, like, I used to make fun of people who cried when a celebrity died, and I didn't really understand, how you could be affected that way by someone you didn't know. And I honestly still don't understand it. I still don't understand, how Kobe was able to impact my life that way and make me feel that way emotionally about his death, And there are family members who I haven't cried as much about. And, I feel kind of guilty in that way about my friends or family members that I've lost, that I didn't have that same amount of grief and emotional response from it. So, it just says a lot about him and, the connection that I did have with him that I kind of underestimated because I didn't think it was going to affect me that way, But at this point in my life, I'm kind of just open to my emotions and don't mind letting it out and don't mind crying and sharing and being open about how I might feel. And I find that to be a better place in life to be than holding it all in and trying to be. It takes more strength to cry in front of people than to hold it in, to be honest. So I just go ahead, let it on out, man, and it'll be all right. And I try to move forward from it. But what else can I say about Kobe? Another great memory. Oh, we beat Boston in Game 7. Oh, my God. I don't know what those pictures are, but I was drowning myself in adult beverages. Wasn't really drinking many of them. They were all just pouring them out and just wilding out and getting loose. I won a few dollars on that one. And that was a good time in 2010, man. But, what comes with that comes all the trolling that happens every time we lost. So, and I got my fair share of that. And I got a lot of ridicule for being a Kobe Bryant fan a lot of times. And it just comes with the territory of being a fan of sports. And I love and appreciate sports. And, that's kind of, how me and Trey got together because of sports, because of football. And we both played baseball in high school. And he played at Valley and I was supposed to and I didn't. And, just all of that, it brought us to where we are now. And, so many of my other friends who were Kobe fans. And I want to give a special shout out to Daniel Wynn, who is the biggest Kobe fan that I know. Bigger than myself. You know what I'm saying? And I'm wearing this pin right here that Daniel personally delivered to me for Kobe and Gigi repping LA. The 2 and the 24. I think it's upside down. Hold up. There it is. Let me fix it. Yeah, he got these made for and passed them out to a lot of different Kobe fans who he felt connected to through Kobe. And man, we used to see each other at the games in New Orleans all the time, talk about Kobe. We still do, like, all the time. We trying to cop these shoes. It's hard because everybody's trying to buy them, so I might not get none. But I'm trying to get my Kobe gear up. Every pair of shoes I can see, I'm gonna try to get it. And man, I'm just I'm just sad that he's not here with us. But I really felt it was only right for me and the fan of him that I am, of the Mamba mentality and all of that. But he really just Kobe at the end of the day. And, he had an impact on my life, and I'm proud to admit that and share that with anyone who's willing to listen. And that's who we are at Chestnut Checkers. Is just, if y'all rocking with us, then we rocking with you too, just on the strength of that, man. So, whoever, I seen a few people log in on my live. It ain't really been that many. I'm going to share it and post it again. Hopefully y'all tune in and check it out. But this is just me talking about Kobe, and that's it, really. Tomorrow, me and Trey trying to go live. School's out. Hurricanes coming through. We got 2 of them. 2020 is just... what can I say? 2020. Coronavirus, no football right now, baseball, no fans, basketball in a bubble. The list goes on, man. So y'all keep y'all heads up and stay strong out here. You know, it's, you know, like this COVID thing mostly don't really directly affect many people personally. So, you know, I gotta keep my life going, and that's another part of life. Death is a part of life, and we gotta keep it moving. And I don't think I've been affected by death as hard as Kobe's since I lost my brother Marlon in 2014, which kind of sat me down for a little while. And you know, the grief and dealing with that is hard to overcome sometimes, but you just gotta be strong and think about the thing that got me through that was, what would Marlon want me to do? He would want me to push forward. What would Kobe want me to do? You know, deal with the grief, but you gotta keep going. So, you know, anytime anybody that's what I leave y'all with. If you're dealing with some kind of loss or grief or anything else, my main thing that I always lean on is, what would the person who I lost want me to do? And I know that they want me to keep pushing and move forward, and just honor them and recognize them when you get every chance you get. If you really care that much, and if you're really affected by it that deeply, just honor them and represent and hold it down, and continue to make them proud of you. And I know they will be. So move forward with that. I got love for y'all. Chestnut Checkers representing Malcolm Reed, the hat, the black piece. You know, and me and Trey will see y'all later, man. But on behalf of Chestnut Checkers and everybody who deal with us, much love and peace and blessings. See y'all later. Holla.